Hey, what's up everybody, Destroyer here, and I'm here bringing you some coverage of the 1v1 August tournament, hosted by GameReplays.org. It is a 16-player elimination tournament, so whoever wins the best 2 of 3 games will advance to the next round, and we are about to watch some games from round 1, which the first one is MauHuR versus DreadReapr, game 1. Alright, round 1, game 1 of MauHuR versus DreadReapr, here we go. We have, in the bottom right, we have MauHuR as Angmar. And in the top left, his opponent, of course, is the Dwarven player, DreadReapr. And I have no idea if they picked or they went random, but it doesn't really matter. To be honest, I'd imagine no one would pick dwarves, so he probably went random. He is opening with 2 Mineshafts, immediately going into an archery range. So DreadReapr will be going for the Axe Throwers. Good call. Axe Throwers are pretty powerful. And MauHuR is opting to go for the Hall of the King's Men, of course, as every Angmar player would. And then he'll begin getting some Thralls spam, undoubtedly. Just a warning, a lot of these tournament games will be short. Since they're all very good players, they definitely know how to kill each other very quickly. So, some of these games will be shorter than others. So bear that in mind. But, no, they should all be pretty good, for the most part, I would imagine. I'd imagine any game with MauHuR in it is pretty fancy. DreadReapr is quite the beast as well. So, let's see. He is going Thrallmaster, of course. He's sending his builder out this way. Possibly to do some scouting? Not sure. Let's actually take a look at powers real quick. Yeah, he's keeping his builder there so he can see anything coming. Very smart strategy. Since he's not using it, he does want to see a Dwarven Mineshaft coming. And obviously this is patch 5.0.1 of 2.02, so he can see that his opponent is dwarves. He knows there is going to be a forward mine somewhere. And DreadReapr went Rally Call, of course. MauHuR went War Chant. That's to be expected. Most players usually go for War Chant or Rally Call as their first powers. We do have our first battalion of Axe Throwers actually crossing the ford instead of using a mineshaft system. So opting to walk it out. MauHuR keeping an eye out for forward mines, as you see there, in the top and the bottom there. So good job keeping an eye on his area. Definitely does not want to get surprised by the dwarves, no doubt. He does have a battalion of Axe Throwers now, which will be quite useful indeed. Not quite as strong as the Dwarven Axe Throwers, but they're pretty good nonetheless. And now we have 2 battalions of Dwarven Axe Throwers coming out. He does have a forward mine in the middle of the ford, so he'll begin keeping his guys out that way. And we do have Axe Throwers. He's got 2 archery range, so he's going with the Axe Thrower spam. Axe Throwers are good against units and against buildings, so Axe Throwers are actually a pretty good choice, I would imagine. But we'll see if that pans out for him or not. MauHuR is going for the Gundabat Orcs and Axe Thrower strategy, which is pretty good as well. Actually managed to get some Orcs around the back there and took down that Mineshaft, and as well starting to kill these Axe Throwers because they're not very defensive. War Chant and Rally Call going down on their respective armies. Another forward mine has been built and some Axe Throwers popped out. And DreadReapr. While the Axe Throwers do have a great attack, their defense is really lacking. So as you see, they die pretty quickly. And these actually Rudar Axemen or whatever Axe Throwers are doing a lot of damage here. Easily outclassing the dwarves, because he does have these meat shield tanks in front as well, also doing damage. And because he's Angmar, he's going to be able to spam and spam. And this could go very bad for DreadReapr very quickly. He is continuing to pour Axe Throwers into the mineshaft. He is bringing guys out from this forward mineshaft on the top as well, hoping to get a surprise attack of some sort on MauHuR. MauHuR is now pushing across the ford, though, into DreadReapr's base, although pulling back a portion of his army to deal with the Axe Throwers that he's undoubtedly just seen. So he'll begin harassing with this battalion of Orcs and Axe Throwers. He can at least take this mine shaft, I would think. Although he will, DreadReapr will pull his Axlors out here. Most likely. Or not. Maybe he pulled them out over here. Or elsewhere. Let's go to the back of MauHuR's base real quick. There is some Axlors killing orcs here. Although, I think the Axlors will be picked off pretty quickly. The Axlor strategy is great in theory, but in this matchup, I don't think it fares very well. As you see, they're just outclassed by the Rudar Axlors, which is kind of silly. But I mean, if the Dorman Axlors were actually hitting the Rudar Axlors, they would be killing them. But because they have to deal with the orcs as well, it's another story. But he is doing a good job keeping his macro up, keeping guys building at all times, sending them into mine shafts, pouring them out the mine shafts, and building new mine shafts, as you would expect any pro player to do. Unfortunately, he does lose another forward mine there. He does have one here. Does he have any more, I wonder? It's kind of hard for me to see purple on the mini-map, honestly. I could see it up here, but around the map it can be a little difficult. Unlike blue, I can see very clearly. Quite everywhere. He has guys pushing up the north side, as well as through the middle. Dwarves do have a forward mine here on the bottom left. He will be pushing across that way. Although his base is in a lot of trouble. Axlors are being built, but they are not going to come to a warm welcome as they come out. This mine in the middle goes down. That's a pretty important mine shaft right there. As dwarves, you definitely don't want to lose that one, because that is the one you are funneling your troops into to keep your forward attacks going, as well as it's one of the ones that are surrounding your fortress in the beginning. So if he has to rebuild that, it will actually have a decrease in efficiency. One of the battalions of Axlors goes down right there. These rally called Axlors doing a good job of trying to save the base, although he may lose one of his archery ranges, which is not looking good. And yes, he does actually lose it. I think he actually lost it as they were coming out, so he only managed to get 3 of them, which is a little strange. But MauHuR is chased off across the ford there, or he does pull back to retreat, whatever. These Axlors putting up a stand here. Looks like they will succeed. He does have another mine here as well. There's a builder in there, waiting to be utilized. Ooh. MauHuR employing the use of sorcerers. Sorcerers in this patch are very useful, as they have had their range fixed up, so they can actually cast from quite far away now. But they do have some abilities that are quite useful. I guess he was using a Fell Strength, drains enemy units of strength, target enemy units take slight damage, nearby enemy friendly units get a buff. That's pretty nice. Oh, the Fellwind Corpse Explosion. Nice. I don't really expect to see a corpse explosion in a tournament game. But that's pretty cool nonetheless. I'm glad I didn't miss it, because I almost did. So DreadReapr opting to go for sorcerers. Probably not something you would have expected. And DreadReapr has decided to concede, as he feels he does not have a chance of victory in that match. So the first game does go to MauHuR against DreadReapr. So that was pretty good. Pretty quick one, but it was pretty good nonetheless. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you for game 2 of MauHuR vs DreadReapr in the August 2015 tournament, 1v1 tournament. See you next time.